Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually burning water, but I forgot.
Then the Gatorade lately, the hydrated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like it? Done.
Orange. We're recording this. Mostly talking about Gatorade. Yeah, probably.
Grab all that money.
It's gonna drink water, baby's going up.
At this time, I'd like to call the committee of the Finance and Community Development, City of Butler County Council to order. It's May 11th. It is 5:03 p.m. First order of business, approval of the minutes of the April 13th, 2023 Finance and Community Development Committee. Motion by Councilor Bach, second by Councilor Kelly. Are there any changes, deletions, or alterations? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. As typical, the 2.1 discussion or presentation of the 2023 year-to-date report that has been provided to council. If there are no questions, you have your hand up.
I just wanted to bring one thing up to everybody. It was handed out yesterday at the healthcare task force. Just so everybody's informed, because all the unions have it, so you got my the information too. I think Mary, you got a copy of that.
Yes, thank you.
The piece of good news. You always good, yeah. Sure.
Thank you.
That's union one?
We're not the one. So let's send it to me.
The numbers are embedded in the financial report for April. To the extent that we had everything posted. Now, what this analysis shows you is the healthcare accounts for all the funds for the city of Plattsburgh. And the funds go from Fund 1, which is general, to rec complex, all the way down to Fund N, which is MLD. That's in the far left column. 2020 actual results. Net healthcare costs for all city were 6.2 million. 2021, it jumped up to 7,004,000. 2022, 8,068,000. Big number. When you look at the city's budget, it represents a large portion of what we spend $50–60 million in a year. So far in 2023, we're $1,820,000, but it had to add a couple things in to get us to where we would be April total cost, and that's the $2,026,000 figure. We've only budgeted to $7.4 million this year, which you see in the fifth column. And the actual column of $2,026,521, that's 27.44% ahead of the budget, but even more so, it's 660,000 ahead of the actual cost last year. So the healthcare trend is running very positive. Somebody quipped in the task force meeting that there was only 400,000, but 400,000 after just 4 months is a nice pickup. If we pick up 100,000 a month on this, by the end of the year, it's like it takes no genius to figure out it's $1.2 million. So hopefully the trend on healthcare is going the other way. So, yeah. Thank you. So if there's any questions about the statements, just let me know.
Thank you. 3.1 draft resolution feasibility study schematic plan for city recreation center renovation loans. Councilor Bach, second. Councilor Kelly, discussion.
Just the roof.
Correct. As it is now, there's some new holes in that city rec center roof. The current roof contractor that we go to for repairs will not warranty their work considering the condition of the roof as it is. So any repairs that they do, they don't want to do any, but any repairs they do, they pretty much said it's patch job. This allows for us to work with or select, engineer, engineer to do an analysis and, an engineer, design for roof replacement or roof repair, and come back to council for, funding.
Well, I'm guessing what the long range plan for that building is, last time I was in there, it's not really the greatest of shape. Didn't have a real heating system. Just wondering where we're headed with the building long term.
Long term, it's not an asset that I think the city of Plattsburgh should hold on to. It's a real property that I think at some point should be liquidated. As it is now, we do charge fairly reasonable lease for that building, and we make a little bit, if not break even, depending on how the YMCA is doing, but it's not a building that I certainly would not recommend holding that building for much longer than we need to, considering we don't use it as a municipality. It is used by a third party, and it would be just as beneficial to sell that property than to continue being a landlord, if not more beneficial. Considering this is going to fall on us to repair, and we could play a broken record. Here we are back, some more situations in Craig Center where we have an opportunity to make an improvement to building, and we got to make a decision on whether or not we do that, or whether or not we sell the property. One way or the other, we are responsible for this right now.
So the study would provide us with the information on how much it would cost to do whatever needs to be done.
Correct. Right.
So how does this study figure into the long range plans?
Well, I mean, like at some point, if we get a bill back and it says, X amount of dollars to replace it, we make a choice, either we put it up for sale, with the understanding that we know the state of the roof and we take a discounted sale price, or we replace it and, we try to recoup those costs on a potential sale of the property.
When does our current agreement with the YMCA end?
Don't know what it is.
It's a 12-month automatically renewing lease. The term ends at the end of June. Every year, yeah.
So the decision. Well, sometimes, but yeah, it's we couldn't run it with a profit, and it doesn't make much sense to rent it out. We don't have any long range plan. Just want to see where we're headed.
Yeah.
Big picture, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Do you know if the Y is ready to move into their new facility on New York Road?
They are not there. I'm not familiar with all the details of their capital project and where they're at with their timing. They are not really moving quite yet. They do use that facility, of course, on occasion, and the last board meeting they had, it was in that building. I don't know when they're gonna, kind of cut the ribbon for a grand opening. But they have indicated to us that they like the Y at the Oval, they want to stay there. And as they begin that transition away from the Oak Street facility to the New York Road facility, I'm of the understanding, and through conversations I've had with their leadership, that they will stay at the YMCA for as long as they can.
One final question, do
Yeah,
you
please.
know how much revenue we're receiving yearly from this lease?
I don't know, and it's in this lease, we've only been in for how long now?
This June will be 2 years.
2 years, correct? So, and also with the understanding that when they first moved in, it takes some time, obviously, to get ramped up, and as the facility gets more popular, and it is a popular facility, especially where it's located in the former users of that building when it was run by the city rec center or rec department. Some of those users have come back. But I think it's a little premature to say fully what the city could expect long term in terms of revenues for that building.
I'd be interested to see if the rent we're receiving for it each month would pay for the roof.
Sure. I would assume no, but I'll have Matt formulate a proper report and then present it back before the next meeting. Before the next, just whenever it's available. I'm not gonna wait to present it to the next meeting. When I receive it, I'll just send it out to council.
Well, and ultimately, I mean, I think, as far as the study, we have to do it because as long as we're the landlords, our hands are kind of tied here. We have to do something about the leaks. It's our responsibility. If
Sure.
my roof was leaking, my landlord would have to take care of it, whether my rent covered it or not, so. Sorry, Sam. No, you would.
There. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
I'm sorry. No, sorry, Steve, sorry.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor Bob,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes,
Okay. 3.2 discussion of Trail Greenway 33 kiosk. As many of you know, as we wrapped up the phase 2 of the Saranac River Trail. A lot of the work that the Greenway folks the Greenway folks have been doing is to connect all the bits and pieces. Through a comprehensive and cohesive marketing strategy. For all of the trail system, that includes the trails not only within the city of Plattsburgh, but also the parts of the Saranac River Trail that lives outside of the city of Plattsburgh. I know Phil Von Bargen here has been integral in the development of the trail as well as the marketing of the trail. This is part of that messaging and marketing for the bits and pieces of the trail, and this is something that will go into some signage along phase 2 of that Saranac River Trail.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to go ahead and have a few minutes of your time, your precious time. So I'm with the Saranac River Trail Greenway, which is a community advocate organization on behalf of the 27-mile-long post trailway system, greenway system, all the way out to town of Saranac to the High Falls 800 that NICEAG operates up there. So this is the design that we're working on perfecting the final details. We wanted to go ahead and have an opportunity to just run it by the council so that you were aware of what our effort was going to lead toward. This is intended to go to the kiosk case there at the Durkee Street footbridge. And we essentially have kind of taken the broad view. There is a little bit of what is the Saranac River Trail versus the Greenway, the G aspect of the SRT. So the message that we're trying to convey here is that that this is part of the Greenway system, and therefore we're focusing on the 27-mile-long portion of it, but we're concentrating the mapping area to be here within the city of Plattsburgh. So we've taken the poster and broken it down into themes, the themes being an overall vision of what the 27-mile-long trail system is about. There's a history component. We're working with the city of Plattsburgh historian, Dr. Beatty. These are just placeholders for right now. We've talked very actively about the 2 photos that we want to put in here. One of the photos is here on the right-hand stairwell going up the steps. When you get to the landing, you'll see the big picture, which is a bird's eye view looking out across the city of Plattsburgh into the hinterlands that the river goes. So that's what we're anticipating going here. And then this picture is probably going to be a view looking across the river from, you could say, where the coal treatment project, the cleanup project is, looking across there at that section of the river and looking across at the width of downtown Plattsburgh in the late 1800s. So those are just placeholders for right now. So that covers the vision, the history, the ecology. We've got the Kathleen Howard is on our board of directors. She's a middle school science teacher. She's working with her classes to do this piece from her students at the middle school level, focusing on a little bit on ecology. Josh has kind of offered some suggestions and thoughts about that, and seeing if we can bring that. Essentially, it's that, this is their resource. There's things like rivers that flow through communities are vast resources of all sorts, natural resources, energy, recreation, just the list is on and on, and the history aspect of it. So we're trying to catch a piece of that. And this is where some of the devil in the details goes in terms of what are we trying to convey in here. And So the map needs some interest, and by the way, we've tried to work with the guidelines that the city has established for your graphic use in making this kind of graphical information in the community and the city here consistent. So we want to make sure that we highlight points of interest and that we would like to be able to incorporate that so-called 7-mile loop. If you're a young family with kids on bikes, a tourist that comes into the community and you're looking for something to do in terms of biking, that we have a 7-mile loop by using the existing Saranac River Trail in the community to get you out to the footbridge, Douglas footbridge, and then head down Elizabeth Street over to Route 9, pick up the Route 9 recreation path that would then take you up to the entrance into the old base over to the Terry Gordon bike path, and then bring you back here to downtown and then allow you to go ahead and have this large loop, which, by the way, Saturday, May 20th, the bike block party, we will be doing as a community event, incorporating that ride at noon for the community to join us to do that slow road bicycle ride. So we're looking at picking up the information that includes this section of trail over here in the town of Plattsburgh that the town partnered with us on creating, that will take you all the way up to Federals Mills using the lower Saranac Hydro property. The future, which involve trails through the Ruger Woods and over by Imperial Dam. We're working with the city of Plattsburgh school district right now for the footpath that goes along the bank of the river there, which is this piece over here by the Thelma Douglas footbridge, which moves the Angel Drive connection of the river a little further outward. So we're going to have the opportunity for a QR code that will link you to other information that might be found along the trail. And then, you know, our partners, funders in the city's respect to the project of the trail system, and then some simple rules. So I just wanted to go ahead and kind of get this out to you so that you can just see an image of it. We have an active committee and we're looking to see if we can complete this month.
I think this looks great. Thanks for showing
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's, you know, we didn't want to go ahead and get to the point where we worked hard on something and said, ooh, this isn't going to look very well. Details like this that need to be worked out, legends so that it provides the information that you're getting that from. And this is the size of that kiosk is 36 by 50.
I think the QR code is a great feature too.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure myself how that works, and I'm not the computer guy. I'm not sure what we've got to work with that for, but a lot of people do this right now. I don't know.
See them all over.
And I like the 3 simple rules. You know, it's good. It gives people, it's not too much information, but it hits the important point that hopefully people know it's take notice.
Yeah, and I invite you all to make sure you come down to the block party.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you for your time.
Exciting.
If there's no public comment, is there any new business? No? I'll take a motion to go into executive session to discuss potential litigation involving a particular property. Motion by Councilor Kelly, second by Councilor Bob. All in favor?
Bye.
For executive session.
Yeah. Really, you need any help? Do you need any help with that? Do you need any help?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Phil, could I make one suggestion on the poster?
Yeah.
Just from an ordinal direction, having Lake Champlain on the left side. Most of the other map views have on the right side, it's because you're looking north. So I don't know how much work that'd be to,
Reoriented north south.
yeah,
Okay.
up to you.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night, Rich.
You too, Matt. Think I'm done, huh?
Yep.
All right.
You're pretty.
See you, Beth.
See you later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, take care.
Yeah, party while we were gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I eat myself a nut.
Too much fun.
I was still asleep.
I'll take a motion to come back from the executive session, motion by Councilor Bob, second by Councilor Kelly, all in favor? We're now back from the executive session, no action was taken during executive session. There was no new business earlier, but I'm gonna take a motion to adjourn. Councilor Bob, second by Councilor Bond, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, folks.